Hello, facilitators. It's Marci from wavesofcommunication.com, and I am back with another live video today. Yeah, I have a lot to talk about, and I want to share it all with you because it is time for change. Yeah, we're getting into a very new time. And as you can see by my shirt here and the title of my first book and all the things that I do and talk about, it is time for change. And if it isn't fun, it isn't fun. It's been my mantra ever since I was parenting my children, ever since I developed Waves of Communication, and the same thing is true now. So I'm going to start this video. I'm going to talk about some different things. I'm going to talk about where have I been and why no more live Q&As. And I'm going to talk about what's happening in the world to help the sheer volume of late talkers that are entering school age now. And I'm going to talk about how these systems are breaking down fast and that parents need to take action now. There's no more excuses. There's no more justification. There's no more, I'll just do it because, and I'll tell you why. That's not going to work anymore. And then I'm going to tell you what's happening to Waves of Communication. Obviously, things look a little different. They're going to continue to look a little different. And I'm going to tell you how moving forward, I help parents who are ready to get the best outcomes. I'm no longer talking, as you'll see, to people who are stuck on, is it this, is it that? How do I get rid of symptoms, focusing on those symptoms, because the reality is I am an energetic worker. I'm an energy worker. And I started this channel because the energy of the way I was working as a speech pathologist in the system was changing, and it wasn't where I felt like I could help people. And now we're 7 years later, and in wavesofcommunication.com, up in and over my head. And that's why we're going back to change, because again, when things stop to be fun, helpful, valuable, and useful for my audience, then it's time for me to change, because this channel is here to equip and empower you. My statement from the very beginning is that's why I'm here. Parents are the best language facilitators. I've been on this soapbox talking about it forever, but why no more live Q&A? Why am I not reaching out to parents in groups and saying, what's struggling? What's your hurdle? Why are you, stuck? And how can I help you get unstuck? Because these solutions in the live Q&A, they've all been said, done, tried by parents around the world who were ready to give up prompting and other evidence-based things that were coming up and loud and proud all across the system, right? Where have I been and why no more live Q&A is because it's not helping parents move forward. It's keeping parents focused on the things. When I ask you, what do you need help with, and you're stuck in your trauma bonding or your connection and attachment to whatever you signed up for the attachment to your investment, to the time, money, energy, all those things that you have been putting into your child, and still you're here watching my videos or coming back to ask me, what can I do? How do I make a plan after all the information is already out there for you to see? So people are looking for something besides the strategies, because the strategies are there. Either you don't want to invest in the time to watch the free videos on Waves of Communication, 1,000 videos on Waves of Communication, or invest in these low cost tools that literally put the process out there step by step. There's something that's stopping parents from making that shift. And that's what we need to start talking about, because see, what's happening in the world to help the volume of late talkers entering in the school system is it's dividing people. It's saying it's our way or do it on your own. It's homeschool and figure it out, or get the diagnosis, get the label, because this is how the system works. It's set up with the funding to get the situation the way parents need it. Um, because parents are asking, take my child, as they deliver them to the school has now gateways, many gateways, starts very young at early intervention. This is why Waves of Communication was created, because I didn't want to be the first gateway to the autism funnel into the bucket of crabs that you can never get out of. Right. And that's what is created right now. The bucket of crabs is the ASD diagnosis that gets your child placed in alternative placement, special education placement. Special education placement costs money, and regular education, that's the divide, right? They're looking to, if you can't do regular education, then you have to do special education. If you give your child to the school, they can't help it. For every 10 children coming into the system as early learners, there are 4 or 3 of those children who are not school ready yet, not school ready out of 10. And that's a lot out of 10. A teacher in a classroom of 20 kids can't handle 6 late talkers. She could handle 1 or 2 or even 3 maybe, but not 6 in a classroom of 20 regular education classrooms. So what's happening is they're separating and segregating the children again. They don't have a choice. They don't have the resources in time, space, money, energy to get your child ready for school. If they're ready on day 1, they go into the class. If they're not ready on day 1, they go into the special ed. And that's the funnel into the bucket of crabs. And if you got that diagnosis before you showed up at school, you never even get the opportunity to go into that class, because the first gateway has been met. Separate, right? Regular ed, special ed. Where does your child fall? It's that easy. That's what has to happen. When there's so many, they have to sort them from a very high level. And the sorting begins. It's not an intuitive process. Nobody's getting to know your child. They're looking at standard data, red flag lists, and checklists. Can your kid answer to their name, sit in a chair, follow the things? Can they do the positive things? And or are they doing the red flag things? Separation into special education or regular education. This is what's happening. And it's up to you, the parent of a child who's getting ready to go to school, getting ready to go to the next level, getting ready to go to the next whatever, because already in school, we know, certainly post-COVID, it was happening before COVID, it was just smaller numbers, but now post-COVID in the United States anyway, where they collect all kinds of data, 40% of children are below level. They can't read, they can't write, they can't socialize. Math is better than language, because at least they can learn math. That's a concept that they have to learn in their head. But language and development of social skills and all the things they need to learn to be able to be good students as they move older and cooperatively learn and share information and use group problem solving and all the things that are necessary for functional education to get into your head, right? It's not all memorization. You have to get into doing the work together in a class. And if your child's not ready, either at whatever age they are, to do that with a teacher guiding 20 children, maybe 1 aide in the class, and your child follows directions and goes from activity to activity, they'll get in regular education. But if they can't, they will be put with the children who get more help. And the more help is justified through behavior intervention. They can't, the child's not ready because they're judging the behavior, the red flags. Can they do the things? Or not, or are they doing the things? Because the teacher can't have the negative things. They can't have the noise. The kids can't have it. So what's happening is separation. Okay, the systems are breaking down fast, and parents need to take action now. So this is what's been happening. I've been seeing it very clearly. The parents who are coming to me are still trying to keep one foot in that system or try to get their kids into it or whatever. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you want for your child. I'm telling you, this is what's available. And if you expect the system to accommodate your late talker with their situation, then you're gonna be sadly disappointed. And that's why parents need to take action now. Okay. So now what's happening to waves of communication? Like it's not anymore. You're not going to come and say, Marci's going to tell me exactly what to do. I'm going to tell you exactly how to be. And how to be is, consistent and connected and all of those things with your child, because the situation is the information's here. The videos aren't going anywhere. There are 1,000 video, hundreds of free titles that you can look. If you want to do the YouTube University, I'm going to figure this out on myself. The information's been there. If you want more guidance, the tools are here. Wavesofcommunication.com has everything available for you to learn how to become a language facilitator, and the step-by-step process of video analysis. You don't even need me to do it, but if you want to, you can even consult with me to do that for you, to show you exactly what, for analysis, true analysis, what's really blocking your child's spoken language and what really needs to happen in order to turn that around and get your child on the track toward evolution of speech, their journey to speech, right? What's happening to waves of communication is it is no longer a training platform except for people who want to get support for an independent journey. So if you are a parent who wants to know how to do this and you need support for that process because it's too hard to stay consistent and you have a lot of things going on and you want to hear how other parents did it and you want to do it, but you've definitely decided you're done with prompting and forcing and exchange-based stuff with pictures, with sign language, with exchange, with ABA. You quit all of that stuff and decide to take it on yourself. That's who I'm talking to from now on. If people send me videos and they say I'm prompting, I'm just going to say, I'm not even going to talk to you until you can send me videos of you showing me that you have made a change, because it's time for change. It's not time for you to say, is this okay? You should know if it's okay because you feel it's okay. There's no need for you to have anyone looking at you and watching at you and analyzing you and judging you, whether you're good or bad or right for your child or not right for your child, whether you're the best or they're the best. Your child is in the process of developing their own spoken language. They need to do that in order to show up anywhere, to school, to the party, to the family, dinner table. And if you, as their parent or caregiver, are in the mindset of, this is my job, I know I gave it away to video or daycare or my mother-in-law or somebody for a while, and I know it's up to me to get it back and get this child's process on track. That's who I'm talking to. I'm not going to talk to people anymore who say, how do I make a XYZ stop? Or how do I make a XYZ start? Because all of that's already written. There's no need for me to say, talk more slowly. And all the strategies are there. It's up to you to decide, right? Which track are you on? Are you on the track right now every day to get your child ready to go to regular education like Haley just did? If you look at the video I just last posted, in 30 days, she got serious, she buckled down, she learned how to do it, and her boy showed up the first day at school like a rock star. These same people who told her weeks ago that she was in denial about her child's ability to be in the regular ed or special ed, they were all like, he needs this, he's level this, he's blah, 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 blah. She didn't believe them. She decided she wanted the regular education track, and she worked with her child with the strategies and the tools that I have to make it happen. That's what's happening on Waves of Communication. Parents who are figuring it out are making it happen. And the parents who are jealous and scared and worried and, oh my God, it's not me, and that's all the excuses. That's why this video in the title says no more excuse. There is no excuse. It doesn't matter what your child is diagnosed with. It doesn't matter how poor you are, where you live, what you have done. Parents have been teaching their children how to use functional language since there was a functional language. And that was way before there ever was a teacher, a speech therapist, anything. I tell this story when I just was traveling. And every single person I tell it to says, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But so many parents still try to come to this platform not recognizing and understanding their power. The reason that you're the best, is because you were given this child to raise. You were given this child. You weren't given every child. You don't have to be a language facilitator for everyone, but you do have to be a language facilitator for your child, right? And so here's how I help parents. So if you've made it this far in the video, a lot of people logged in and logged off. I'm recording this live, and I know that there's a lot of people who are like, oh no, she's got her spiritual stuff out. She's got her whatever stuff out, because again, I am an energy worker and the energy of the world is changing. And I am here to help you. Those of you who are ready now. And it could be that you were in 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because literally that's how my spiritual journey went. The whole Waves of Communication platform is very professional. It's intuitive, but I talk about previous people's work and I align my work with other people who are also in the natural language facilitation and Gestalt language learning. And I use all that terminology and all of that stuff, right? Because I grew up in that world. I didn't become an energy worker until after I was 50 years old, right? Until after even I understood that what I was doing was not what I came here to do. And what I came here to do is help parents in this time, because it's never been like this before. We never had a world where the education systems that were developed for us to rely on, with astrology, with Pluto in Capricorn for the past 20 years, these systems have been developed for the world to program all of us, to be workers, to be employees, to be whatever. And see, even if you were an employee in a system, if you were in the corporate world, if you were in the tech world, if you were in the education or healthcare world, you have seen your own world. Just because I have it in the healthcare and education world, that has been my career for 30 years. And you've seen the cycles come and go if you've been working a while. And don't you see these same cycles happening when you try to parent in a community and take your child to the healthcare place or to the education place, right? Don't you see this issue? So what's happening now is that I know parents see it. I know they see it, but they need empowerment and encouragement to follow the energy that you feel, because the people who follow me, the people who say, wow, this intuitive guidance is really what I'm looking for, and what you're saying really resonates with me, and you know, all that other stuff just never felt very good, and I'm looking to feel better about how I work with my child every day, because I know I was distracted. We were all distracted. COVID and the fallout from COVID, the elections, the storm events, the colossal things that are happening worldwide are major distractors of global breakdowns in banking, in healthcare, in weather, in the earth, the sky, all four elements, right? Energy work. Pluto is a big influence on everybody here in Earth, and it's breaking down for everybody in a different way, depending on when you were born, where you were born, and the karma that you brought into this life, right? Because part of your karma, this life, your job as a spiritual being, because I believe we all are. Let's just get real. Waves of Communication is becoming an energy channel. It always has been. The energy's been filtering in there below the scenes, trying to attract more of you. These people who are ready to take advantage of the new way the world is going, to be in front, to have your child not just ready to go to the school that's breaking down, but to be ready to develop the new world, the new earth, the new way things are going to happen in the world. the way things get done with AI and computers. Because as Pluto moves into Aquarius literally this month, everyone's feeling it. They're making sides. The dichotomy, the division is huge. It's bigger than ever. Right? There's no more one in and one out. We're all doing splits right now. You have to listen to them or listen to them. The advice in this world is to detach from all of that and focus on you and what you can do. And what you can do is learn from your late talker. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving into content here on Waves of Communication that equips and empowers parents in the 3D about actual language facilitation. As I travel again, Australia is my next destination. I'm going to be meeting with Haley and her team and her friends and her community in Australia as things are rapidly breaking down because funding there, the system's much smaller than in the United States, and it's trying to be developed, but we're in the process of getting language facilitation as an option for parents to get training from certified professionals like Haley and into daycares that are language focused like STAR is developing. And we're going to equip and empower these facilities to be popping up all over the world so parents have a local community place to go and be equipped and empowered with other people in your community. You don't have to go to the school. You can go to the language facilitation center where you and your child become equipped and empowered to evolve their nonverbal communication into spoken language and to equip and empower you as an energy worker to manage the behaviors that are frustrating and all of that for you, because all behavior is communication, and help you integrate your child into a community, first the small language facilitation community with other late talkers and their siblings and families and friends and people around, and then a wider community where suddenly those people who chose the isolated ABA to give up the job and put their kid into institutionalized education, which is the old way. Right? That's what Saturn in Capricorn is institutionalized education as controlled as possible by the higher ups. That's Capricorn, higher up control, right? And Pluto is done. He blew it up. That's what's going on right now. It's blowing up. And when he moves into Aquarius, people are going to start to just say, no, thank you. It doesn't have to be even a major fight. Although we've got Mars opposing Pluto right now. So if you want to fight, you can find one. But I am guiding parents to just avoid it. You don't need to go there or there and fight with those people. You don't need to take this and fight them. You're not going to bring them over. That's not your job to convince anybody that they're right or wrong. It's not my job to convince you that you are right or wrong. I'm convincing you to just be sovereign and trust what you know about yourself, your community, and your child. And that's where it starts. It only starts with you. You are the best. You. There is no one, not even me, that's better than you. So the guidance is going to change. I'm going to guide you to guide yourself. All healing is self-healing. If you feel like your child needs to heal their throat chakra so that their language can communicate and heal all their body, that's their job. But your job is the facilitator of that. And so I've got some ideas for you. I've got metaphysical tools. So here on wavesofcommunication.com, this video is going both places. On wavesofcommunication.com, you're going to see videos about, they're all staying, and you'll see the videos that are, the methodology and the strategies to move from one level to another, what to do if your child becomes stuck, and how to evolve your mindset and all of those things. That's wavesofcommunication.com. But my new channel is called Marci Melzer, Intuitive SLP, and I do things like this. I do intuitive card readings, and I do astrology and things like this, where you would choose intuitively to get big messages about your child. And then what happens is on that channel, I'm going to be doing my lives, and we're going to be doing a weekly astrology forecast so you can learn what energies from the planets are affecting your child. This is all from the perspective of facilitating a late talker's journey. And we're going to be doing intuitive energy updates, and we're going to be doing these pick a card readings. And that channel link is in the description of this video if you're watching on wavesofcommunication.com. If you're watching over on Marci Mel's or Intuitive SLP, please subscribe. Please subscribe, because this is where the content's going. There won't be a whole lot of new things coming up on wavesofcommunication.com already. It's like the library, the encyclopedia is wavesofcommunication.com, but the forward movement, because astrology, the energy is changing fast, and if you want to keep up with that fast changing energy and not get distracted, because I think this is the biggest problem that I'm facing with the people who resonate with the idea of natural language facilitation. You want to be your child's primary facilitator. You are done with school. Maybe you already exited that and you're fighting with them, or they're trying, you're in the middle of that fight right now. Many of you are there because I get messages from you. I'm working with a client right now who's in the middle of fighting that fight. But that's the thing. You have the choice now how to navigate all of that, because the energy work is where you get the best outcomes. And that's how this goes. Okay. So then you're going to do all that. And then if you really want to dig in, now you can get a medical SLP consultation. And that happens over at wavesofcommunication.com/intuitive. If you just go there, you'll see a big red banner. And this is where I will review your late talker's astrology. You'll send me information about that, their chart and what they're doing. I'll do intuitive energy reading with my language facilitation inspiration cards and the energy work strategies, just so that you can learn how to do this with your child, because the issue is you can do this. We all are energy workers. We all are here to help these late talkers develop their communication. Why is this so important? Because these late talkers who were born into this Pluto and Aquarius, right? All these late talkers were born into this energy where their Pluto is fighting with this system. Like they're like, no, I'm not going to be in the system. I don't want to be in the system. Pluto there is fighting with the system's push to, you should need to be like me. That's why these children who were born in the past 16 years, especially because the systems were starting to get started, but when things really got going was 10 years or less. So if your child is under 10 years old and they're still not using spoken language the way they should be, and even if they're up to 15, 16, and language has come and go, like they try to use it and they're not, maybe they'll use a letter board for most of their language and then they're talking some. These children now, when Pluto moves into Aquarius, these children with true diagnoses, we're talking about children with brain injury, with true autism, that were also not able to use spoken language. Technology will develop so that the spoken language will come from these children now, either through their typing and devices, or because that's already been starting with the letter boards. That's very earthy. But as these children move into as Pluto moves into Aquarius over the next 20 years, technology will happen where these late talkers, where language is really stuck inside them, they'll figure out this neurology. They already have, and they'll put like Neuralink, and that kind of thing will happen so that this child will think things and be able to speak. So because spoken language and video content is where communication's going, reading, writing, even typing out long things to read, that stuff's going away. The auditory, the 3D printed letters, that stuff will be much less used. We won't be using these ballpoint pens for a while. I mean, in 20 years, you wait and see. Communication is changing in a major way, because this is how the world connects, is Aquarius, and it's a communication place. It's just how, and it's change. So we can't help but change. And you have the opportunity to follow me and continue to go and get the solutions and help that you need. Or you can unsubscribe and, stop watching these videos and whatever, because I'm attracting a whole new audience of people who are no longer focused on symptoms and red flags and is it this, is it that? It is what it is. We're going to focus moving forward. How I help you is to focus on acceptance and understanding of your current situation and apply and use the laws of attraction and abundance to manifest through your thoughts, deeds, and everyday actions. The energy that you literally project into the world, the energy you absorb, the energy you transmute, the energy you see from your child, the way you process and intuitively understand how the world works. That's energy work. It's just what you feel in your gut. You work from that instead of what somebody else said, what you thought you used to do, and second guessing your mind. That's all going away to a more intuitive way to work that's not founded in anything from before. All that stuff is changing and going away and breaking down. And if you're trying to force your way in there before it breaks down, you're just wasting energy, right? Because the way to get the best outcome is to have an easy, happy, safe, and functional experience and get back to what parents and caregivers have been doing for centuries, facilitating functional spoken language communication in whatever languages they need. So if you live outside of the country, it could be multiple, outside of the USA, it could be multiple languages you need to facilitate. Your late talker is ready to learn all of them, all the languages they need. The typing language, the computer language, the video language, but it has to be spoken really. Because even if they think it, it's going to come out of their mouth so that more people will hear it. Because fewer people are reading, more people are listening and watching videos and short form content and all of that stuff. The way your late talker is going to share their wisdom with the world will be unique to them. And the one who facilitates that is you. And that's where we're going. You are the best. Parents are the best because you're the energy connected, the first energy connected, especially you mamas, the first energy connected with your child when they incarnated into this world through your body, through your intention. Okay. And it's your responsibility, and I'm here to help you get it going. So thanks for watching today. Stay tuned. The information's going to be big and changing, and buckle up because it's going to skyrocket your results if you're ready to get going. And if you want to know more, wavesofcommunication.com. Take the moment to read the website. The information is there like a huge encyclopedia. You got to dig through intentionally. Connect to your focused outcome. Where do you want to get this child and what can you do? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. That's what's all in these resources. If you need support, you need help, you want me to read your child's chart, you want me to pull cards from my language facilitation inspiration deck, I literally channel information from your child. I am a medium. I am a channel. And it's not angels and Jesus and all of that stuff. Yeah, they come into my thing too, but the information that I channel on these videos comes from these children. The information in these cards comes from these children who are trying with their intuitive energy to communicate these messages to you. And if you're watching this card, there's a couple right now watching. This is the card you got. It says, do what I do. Look, it's upside down. Do what I do. I'm doing different things. And it says right here, see through their eyes. Late talkers will prompt you to imitate their behaviors so you can understand their perspective. This is what the world is changing to. Seeing the world through their eyes. The only thing that's going to help them facilitate their evolution is this, right? Understand their perspective through your own experience. Because if you do what they do, instead of trying to make them do what you do, right? Then you get to see You'll experience it yourself and you'll know what it is. Acknowledge that the late talker is trying to communicate a message with their behavior, all that behavior that we're red flagging and all that stuff. Say the message you interpret out loud. This is step one, language facilitation. Look at some of these messages. I know it's dark back there. So the messages are, oh, I see. Because like when they have that aha moment because you said, look, this is a thing and I'm going to explain it more than you've ever heard me explain it before. And they're like, they just look at you like that and you're like, I see, you understand, right? You're giving them examples of things to say when they show you behavior because you're experiencing the same thing. Oh, I see what you're trying to tell me. Now I understand you. These statements are huge for getting your child to connect and trust you, right? To see it from their perspective, right? Another one is, you want cuddles. And they're like, wow, you understood me, even though I just came at you with my hands. You know, you want me to lay in the bed. You don't want to lay in the bed. You want me to lay down. Oh, you have to go potty. Oh, you have to do this. They're telling you messages all the time. And because when I developed these cards, I just looked at these pictures and immediately I saw a message from the child. So here's another one. It says, draw me a picture, right? So, these are things that parents are doing. A lot of times they're doing. Ooh, let me draw this. And then they're like, label, right? This is another purple card. These cards are programmed with the chakra colors, right? Like told you, I've been doing energy work all 7 years. It's just been behind the scenes. Right? This says, draw me a picture, and the advice is provide visual aids, right? Because they are in the process. Pluto moving from the Capricorn, visual, earthy stuff, reading and writing, into language that comes out of their mouth. Because that's what it is. The advice is late talkers relate to visual images first, letter boards, pictures, all that stuff. It's true. It's true when they learn new vocabulary, but the pictures that you draw help them integrate. What are they doing? What are these things? It's not just a picture of an ice cream cone. It's a picture of an ice cream cone followed by a story about how you ate ice cream and you went and bought ice cream and you went to go get ice cream, because they can play those images in their mind. But your pictures help connect them from the 3D stuff that other people have been trying to do. If you want the cookie, say cookie, business. And then it says here, draw pictures of the people, places, and things that the late talker already knows to spark detailed conversation. Draw related pictures with lots of details and add scenery as you talk, and to turn images into stories. Exactly what I said. Isn't it funny? I would imagine I wrote these cards from the images of the kids, and I wrote them a couple of years ago. And I'll be making these so parents can buy them and things like that too coming up. But because of the timing and the astrology right now, we've got this Scorpio new moon, we've got November 1st, we've got Halloween, we've got Samhain, we've got Diwali, we've got to celebrate all that stuff with your late talker. But understand that this is the time of year for you to also appreciate, acknowledge your energetic connection with things beyond the veil. And beyond the veil doesn't have to be dead people or spirits or God or anybody. It literally is the intuitive messages flying all around you, both from the messages behind what these people say when they say your child is this, and oh, look at that, that's autism, and blah, 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 and you know where they're coming. And then also the intuitive message that are coming from your late talker who's not using words at all, who's using language and behavior. You can perceive these things with your intuition. We don't have to be tarot readers or numerology and all that stuff. Those are the metaphysical tools, right? But ultimately, it all boils down to a really simple job of you taking responsibility for your role as your child's language facilitator. And that's what we're doing. That's what's happening at Waves of Communication and wavesofcommunication.com. So thank you for joining me, everybody, today. Again, my name is Marci Melzer. And yeah, things are changing and it's time for change. I hope that you will embrace this opportunity and join me with my new page, my new stuff, all of that stuff. And if you are interested in metaphysical SLP consultation, head over to wavesofcommunication.com and you can click that red banner at the top of the page, or just forward to intuitive, and that will get you there. So thanks again for joining me, everybody. I appreciate you. I'm sending you all the best. This is all my energy coming straight at you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.